Can I ask you something? And please, don't answer this too quickly. Imagine, कल सुबह आप उठते हो and for one whole day, nobody needs you. Your children don't call you. Your husband does not ask you for anything. Your parents don't need your help. Nobody has a problem for you to solve. Nobody asks you, Mummy, mera ye kahan hai? Can you please do this? Uh, can you call her? Can you manage this? Nothing. For one entire day, nobody needs you. How would you feel? Relieved, excited, free? Or would there be a strange little emptiness somewhere inside? And maybe after a couple of hours, you would start doing things anyway. Cupboard organize करना है, किचन चेक कर लेती हूँ, मैसेज देखना, किसी को कॉल करना, किसी के लिए कुछ प्लान करना. Because somewhere inside, you have become so used to being needed that you simply being starts feeling uncomfortable. And here's the question I really want you to sit with today. If nobody needed anything from you, would you still know that you matter? I'll repeat that. If nobody needed anything from you, would you still know that you matter? Don't answer it yet, because I want to take you somewhere with this question. And I have a feeling by the end of this conversation, you may look at the word needed very differently. Hi, I am Karishma and welcome to Finding Her series, a space where we just don't talk and ask what's wrong with me. We rather ask, where did I learn this about myself? And today's conversation is a little uncomfortable because we are going to talk about something that often looks like love, but is not always love. Something that you can look like a responsibility, like a strength, like motherhood, care, sacrifice, and even success. We are going to talk about being needed. Because sometimes we don't realize that we have started using other people's need for us as a proof of our own worth. And if that sentence made you feel uncomfortable, stay with. Because this is not about blaming anyone. It is not about saying, stop caring for your family. No, not at all. It is about something much subtle. It's about asking, am I doing these things because I genuinely choose to, or because somewhere inside I need to feel needed? And there is a difference. A very important. Think about that woman. Maybe you know her. Maybe she is you. She is the one everybody calls. Mummy, where is my charger? Can you send this? Can you book that? What should I do? Can you talk to them? Can you manage this? Don't worry, she will handle it. She does. She knows everyone else's schedules. She remembers birthdays. She knows who likes what food. She knows where everything is kept. She knows which child is upset. She knows what her husband has planned. She knows what her parents need. She knows what needs to be bought. She remembers the small things nobody else remembers. She is the family operating system. And everybody says, she's so strong. She manages everything. हम उसके बिना क्या करेंगे? And she smiles. Of course, she smiles because being appreciated feels good. Being trusted feels good. Being important feels good. Being told we don't know what we will do without her feels good. But here is where I want you to pause. What if there is another sentence hiding underneath that smile? A sentence she may never say out loud. If I stop doing all of this, will I still matter? That is a very different question because there is a difference between my family appreciates what I do and I need my family to need what I do so that I can feel valuable. The first is appreciation. The second can quietly become an identity. Let's make it a little more real. Imagine a woman who has spent 20 years taking care of everybody. Children were small, she was needed. Children went to school, she was needed. Homework, projects, illness, exams, marriage, family functions, she was needed. Then the children grew up. They became independent. They don't ask, Mummy, where is this? They don't need her to organize everything. They make their own decisions. They have their own lives. Suddenly, there is time, a lot of time. And everyone tells her, now enjoy. Now relax. Now do something for yourself. And she says, yes, yes, I'll do. But inside, something feels strange. Because for 20 years, her identity had an external structure. Someone needed her. Therefore, she knew where she belonged. Now, the need has reduced. And she is left with the question she never had to answer before. Who am I now? And this is why sometimes when children become independent, the empty nest is not just an empty house. It can become an identity vacuum. Because the woman has not only lost daily responsibilities, she has lost the roles through which she experienced her own importance. And this is not necessarily because she does not have hobbies. She may have hobbies, she may travel, she may meet friends, she may have a beautiful life, but somewhere deep inside, she may still feel I am most valuable when someone needs me. And that is the part we need to understand. Let's separate two things because I think we have mixed them up for far too long. Being needed and being loved, they are not the same. Being needed tells you what you do. Being loved reminds you who you are. Think about that. If someone needs you because you cook, what happens when they cook? If someone needs you because you solve everyone else's problem, what happens when they learn to solve their own? If someone needs you because you're always available, what happens when you finally say, I can't today? Does their need reduce your value? Of course not. But emotionally, it can sometimes feel that. Because if I have spent years receiving my sense of worth through usefulness, then someone's independence can actually accidentally feel like my rejection. And that is where relationships can become complicated. A mother may say, my child does not need me anymore. And underneath, sometimes what she's grieving is not just the child's dependence, she's grieving the version of herself that felt essential. I want to say this very carefully. There is nothing wrong with wanting to feel important to the people you love. Of course, we want to matter. Of course, we want to contribute. Of course, we want our family to value us. The problem begins when contribution becomes the condition for self worth. When your mind starts saying, I am valuable because I am useful, I am good because I am available, I deserve love because I sacrifice. And then rest feels like guilt. Receiving feels like uncomfortable. Saying no feels dangerous. And being unnecessary feels almost like being invisible. Now, how here is where psychology becomes really interesting because most of us did not consciously decide I will measure my worth through usefulness. We learned it. Sometimes very early. Imagine a little girl. She helps mommy. Everyone says, such a good girl. She adjusts. Such a mature girl. She does not complain. कितनी understanding है ना. She takes care of her younger sibling. You are such a responsible child, Meena. She gets praised for being easy, for helping, for adjusting, for not creating problems. And slowly, her brain starts connecting the dots. Helpful is equal to good. Easy is equal to lovable. Responsible is equal to worthy. Needing things is equal to inconvenient. And this does not happen because parents are bad. Often they are simply parenting with the emotional tool they themselves received. But the child does not know that. The child simply learns that when I make life easier for everyone, I get love, I get approval, and I get appreciation. And that's how usefulness can become a part of identity. Here is something else. Some women grew up hearing, don't worry about yourself, family comes first. Think about everyone else. Good women adjust. You are the strong one. And these messages may sound very beautiful. Sometimes they are beautiful. But if they are never balanced with you matter too, your needs matter, you can receive, you can rest, you don't have to earn love, then something gets lost. You learn how to give, but not how to receive. You learn how to support, but not how to be supported. You learn how to carry, but not how to put the load down. And eventually, you become incredibly capable. But capability and emotional freedom are not the same things. Let's talk about something I find fascinating. Sometimes the women who say, I don't need anyone, is also the woman who desperately needs to feel needed. Sounds contradictory, right? But it is not. Because being needed gives her the sense of security. If everyone depends on me, I know I have a place. If everyone comes to me, I know I matter. If everyone asks me, I know I am important. So when someone says, don't worry, I'll do it, instead of feeling relieved, she may feel slightly displaced. Array, I will do it. Don't worry. I've got it. I can manage. And yes, maybe she genuinely can. But what if she does not know how to let someone else carry something for her? What if receiving help feels uncomfortable? What if being taken care of makes her feel unnecessary? This is where I want you to ask yourself something. Think about the last time someone genuinely offered you help, not because you are incapable, but because they wanted to care for you. Did you accept it? Or did you immediately say, no, no, it's okay? And if you did, ask yourself, why? Was it because you did not need help, or because you are so accustomed to being a giver that receiving feels unfamiliar? Listen, here's the thing nobody else will tell you. Being needed feels good until it becomes exhausting. Because if our identity depends on being useful, you can't easily rest. You can't easily say no. You can't easily disappoint someone. And you definitely cannot easily step away. Because the moment you say, I can't, your mind will whisper, but then what will they think of me? What if they don't need me anymore? What if someone else does it for them even better? And suddenly, you're not doing something out of love, you're doing it out of fear. And that distinction matters. Love says, I want to. Fear says, I have to. Love says, I choose to help. Fear says, if I don't help, I may lose my place. Love has freedom. Fear has obligation. And sometimes we call fear love. But this work is sad. And this becomes especially important as life changes. Children grow, parents age, partners become more independent, friends develop their own lives, responsibilities change. Technology makes many things easier. And suddenly the woman you know, who was once the center of everybody's practical world is not needed in quite the same way. And people around her may say, you are lucky. Now you have time. But inside, she may feel, I don't know what to do with this time. And perhaps she starts feeling it immediately. Another course, another project, another responsibility, another person to help, another problem to solve. Because silence creates space, and space sometimes reveals things we have been too busy to feel. Maybe that's why busyness can become so comfortable. Because when you are busy, you don't have to ask, what do I actually? When everyone needs you, you don't have to ask, who am I? When you're solving everyone's problems, you don't have to sit with your own self. And maybe the hardest part of becoming free is being what? The hardest part of being free is discovering that you have to meet yourself there. I'll repeat that. The hardest part of becoming free is discovering that you have to meet yourself there. Now, let's remove the labels. Just for a moment, don't think of yourself as someone's mother. Don't think of yourself as someone's wife. Don't think of yourself as someone's daughter. Don't think of yourself as a person who organizes everything. Don't think of yourself as a person everyone wants. Remove each and every row and imagine it is just you. You. And tell me, what do you like? What makes you curious? What makes you laugh? What would you learn if nobody needed you to learn it? Where would you go? What would you wear? What would you create? What would you read? What would you talk about? What would you do even if nobody ever thanked you for it? That question is important because purpose is not always about what can I do for it. Sometimes purpose begins with what makes me feel alive. And you have not lost yourself. You have simply spent so long being needed that you have not had enough space to meet the woman underneath all these things. Let me give you a metaphor. Imagine, Karo, you are a chair, a very strong chair. Everyone sits on it. When they are tired, they come to you. When they are overwhelmed, they lean on you. When they need support, you are there. And you are proud of it. You think this is my purpose to hold everyone together. And then one day, the room becomes empty. Nobody is sitting on you. And you suddenly wonder, if nobody is sitting on me, am I still valuable? Of course you are. You are still a chair, still whole, still useful when you choose to be. But your existence does not depend on someone sitting on you. And when, maybe, we women need to remember this. You are still valuable when nobody is using your strength. You are still worthy when you are resting. You are still lovable when you are not fixing anything. You are still important when you are not available. You are still you when nobody is asking you for anything. That's the difference between being needed and being valued. So, what do we actually do with this? I don't want to tell you stop helping people. That's not the answer. I don't want you to suddenly become I don't need anybody. That's not the answer either. The shift is much gentler. The next time you are about to say, yes, I'll do it, pause and ask yourself these three questions. Question number one, do I genuinely want to do this? Not can I. You probably can. Ask, do I want to? Okay. Then question number two, if nobody thanked me for doing this, would I still choose it? That is a powerful one. Huh? And then number three, am I helping from love or from fear? If the answer is love, beautiful, do it, give, support, show up. But if the answer is fear, pause. Because you don't have to earn your place through usefulness. And now I want to give you a challenge. For the next 7 days, receive something without immediately returning the favor. Someone compliments you, don't say array no, just say thank you. Someone offers you help, instead of I will manage, try yes, thank you. Someone wants to do something nice for you, don't immediately think what can I do for them. Just receive. Because receiving teaches the nervous system something new. That is, I can be cared without performing. And that can be deeply uncomfortable, but also deeply healing. Remember the question I asked you at the beginning? What if tomorrow nobody needed you? Maybe now your answer is a little different. You would still feel a little uncomfortable, and that's okay. You don't have to transform overnight, but maybe you can sit with that discomfort and instead of immediately filling the space, ask, what do I need from me today? Not what does everyone else need, not what can I do, not who can I help, just what do I need? Maybe the answer is rest. Maybe it is walk, maybe it is learning something, maybe it is just a conversation, maybe it is creativity, maybe it is simply nothing. And nothing is also allowed. And now I want to speak to the woman who has spent years being everyone else's safe space. I know being needed feels good. I know we have built a beautiful identity around, being dependable. I know people trust. I know they can come to you. I know sometimes you secretly wonder what will happen when they don't need me anymore. But listen to me carefully. You were never meant to earn your right to belong, to be being useful. You don't have to be exhausted to prove that you care. You don't have to solve everyone else's problem to deserve love. You don't have to be available every minute to be a good mother. You don't have to keep giving to be a good wife. You don't have to keep adjusting to be a good doctor. You don't have to carry everyone to be a good human. Your family may need what you do, but they don't love you only because what you do. And if somewhere you have started believing that they do, perhaps it is time to gently separate the two things. What you do for people is an expression of your love. It is not the price you pay to receive theirs. And maybe this is what finding her means. Not becoming a woman who needs nobody. Not becoming a woman who stops caring. Not becoming a woman who says, I choose myself over everyone. No. Maybe finding her means finding the woman who exists even when nobody needs anything from her. The woman who can sit quietly and still feel good. The woman who can receive without feeling guilt. The woman who can say no without questioning her goodness. The woman who can rest without needing to justify it. The woman who can love deeply without disappearing into that. So, if nobody needed you tomorrow, who would you be? That's the woman you are ready to meet. And I want to leave you with this one sentence. Actually, I want you to write it down. Being needed tells you what you do. Repeat karo. Being needed tells you what you do. Being loved reminds you who you are. And you are so much more than what you do for everyone else. If today's conversation touched something inside you, don't tell me your whole story. Just complete this sentence in the comments. When nobody needs me, I want to remember that I am dash. हो सकता है you are creative, you are curious, you are loving, you are enough, you are still discovering. Whatever comes, write it. Because sometimes putting the truth in words is the first step towards belief. And if you know a woman who is always the strong one, always the giver, always the one everyone calls, send this conversation to her. Not because there is something wrong with her, but because perhaps she needed to be reminded that she is allowed to take care, to be taken care of too. Until our next conversation, be kind to yourself because the person listening to your thoughts is always God bless.